Hello everyone, welcome to my channel The Unstable Earth. Today I am going to continue the previous chapter of Major Domains of the Earth part 1, in which we studied that there are three major domains of the Earth in which our life exists, that is land, water and air. In my previous video we studied about the land, which we also called as lithosphere, and today we will start with hydrosphere, that is water, and atmosphere, that is air. Okay, so let's begin. So as you have seen that most of the earth's part is covered with blue in color. So blue in color indicates that it is covered with water. So it is covered with water. It means most of the part is covered with water and very less amount of area is covered by land. So 71% of area is covered by water and 29% of area is covered by land. So because of which it is also known as blue planet. And hydrosphere means water content is present in all the forms, that is liquid, gaseous and solid. So if we talk about liquid, we have water. Solid, we have glaciers and snow-capped areas. Then we have gases that is present around us. You might have also heard about water cycle, which means that water cycle is very important. It means that water cycle is very important for the regulation of the water. Okay, so and still you might be thinking that why do we have scarcity of water. So the reason is here that 97% of the water is contained or covered by the oceans, in which the oceans contain the salty water, which is not available or which is not suitable for human use. Okay, so because of which there are very less percentage of water present as a fresh water for human use. And despite being saying a blue planet, we also face shortage of water. So as we have said that most of the part is covered with oceans, so it means oceans are very important in our life. So that is Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Southern Ocean and Arctic Ocean. There are 5 oceans that covers 97% of the area of the earth. So we'll see the location, that is Pacific Ocean, which is in the western side of North America and South America, and it also present in the eastern side of Asia, that is Pacific Ocean, if we see it covered by in a circular form. Okay, then we have Atlantic Ocean, which is in the middle of the North America and Europe. Then we have Southern Ocean, which is in between of South America and Africa. Then we have Arctic Ocean in the northern pole. Then in the south of India we have Indian Ocean, and it is the only ocean which is named after a country. So here are the 5 oceans, that is P Pacific, A Atlantic, Arctic Ocean in the northern pole, then we have S Southern Ocean, then we have Indian Ocean, and Pacific it covers. Okay, so moving further, as you might know that Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean and it covers 1/3 of the Earth's area. Okay, so it is the largest ocean. And on the Earth's surface, if we have highest peaks or mountains, so under the surface of the Earth, means in the oceans, we have lowest points as well. So Mariana Trench, which is the lowest point on our Earth's surface, on deepest part of the earth, it is located in the Pacific Ocean. And in shape, Pacific Ocean is circular in shape, and it covers, I have already told you the location, so it covers the continents like Asia, Australia, North and South America. Okay, then we have Atlantic Ocean. So Atlantic Ocean is the second largest ocean, and if we call about the shape, it is S-shaped in nature. And the portions it covers is North America, South America on the western side, and Europe and Asia on the eastern side. Okay, and the most important thing to note out here, it is that it is indented. Indented means the area which is not in proper form, it is in jigsaw form, like this on the picture you can see. it is uneven in nature. Because of this unevenness, it try to provide us with the natural harbor, which helps us to make a port out there in which we can trade from there. Okay, so on the basis of economic, so it is the most busiest ocean. Okay, so that's all for the Atlantic Ocean. So remember the shape, and remember that Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean. Then we have Atlantic Ocean. Pacific Ocean is circular in shape, and Atlantic Ocean is S-shaped. And if you remember the map, so you can easily locate the places out there, all the continents that they cover. Okay, so most important thing to remember in the Atlantic Ocean, that it is indented, which means the uneven surface around it, and uneven surface means it helps in idle formation of a port. Okay, so now we'll come on the Indian Ocean. So Indian Ocean is the only ocean which is named after a country I have already told you, and it is in triangular in shape. So in the north it is bound by Asia, and in the western side it is bound by Africa, and in the east by Australia. Okay, so you will remember these places, you don't have to memorize it. If you remember the continents and the oceans, so you can easily mark the location out there. The only thing that you have to remember is the shape of the oceans. So it is in triangular in shape. Okay, so moving further, we have Southern Ocean. We don't have anything important out here. It is a small ocean, so it encircles the Antarctic Ocean below the south in the southern pole, and extend up to 60 degrees of south latitude. Then we have Arctic Ocean, which is present in the northern pole. Okay, so it is Arctic Ocean that surrounds around the northern pole, and it connects the Pacific Ocean and the through the shallow water, that is we call it as Bering Strait. Strait is a place where it connects the two land. If we give an example like India and Sri Lanka, so India and Sri Lanka in the southern side, in the southern tip, it is connected with Falk Strait, we say it. So it connects the two land surfaces, that is Indian subcontinent, and then we have Sri Lanka. So Falk Strait is the strait which connects the India and Sri Lanka. In the similar way, we have Arctic Circle connected with Pacific Ocean. The name of that place where it is connected is Bering Strait. So this is the important thing to note. It is bound by the northern coast of North America and Eurasia. Okay, now we'll move further with the atmosphere. Okay, so atmosphere is a blanket of air that surrounds us. So you can easily say that it is a blanket of gases that surrounds us. So this thin blanket of air is an internal and important aspect of the planet. It provides us with the air we breathe and protects us from the harmful effects of the sun's rays. The atmosphere up to a height of about 1600 kilometers. So the extension of atmosphere above the earth's surface is 1600 kilometers, and it is divided like our oceans are divided in 5 parts, like 5 oceans. In the similar way, our atmosphere is covered it has layer. So there are 5 important layers on the basis of their composition, temperature and other properties. Okay, so we'll study about the layers of the atmosphere. So first we have troposphere. Okay, so in the troposphere, all the natural phenomena work out here, all the climatic phenomena work in the troposphere. Then we have a layer where we feel a stability in the atmosphere. Okay, that is tropopause, in which pause means stopping of everything. So here we cannot feel anything. Okay, so there is a stability between this area where we feel tropopause is the layer. Okay, then we have stratosphere, in which our ozone layer is present, and ozone layer protects us from all the from ultraviolet rays of the sun. And then we have stratopause. Pause means again the stability on the earth's surface, on the atmosphere. Okay, so here all the phenomena of ozone and everything will be stable. Okay, paused out here. Okay, then above it we have mesosphere, then we have thermosphere. Thermo means heat. Here the temperature suddenly increase because of the presence of ions, so all the satellites and everything work out here because of the presence of ions. So this is a very important layer to study about. And then we have exosphere as well, but we don't know the extension of it, so we only conclude that we have five layers, and we don't study about it. It is out of the, we consider it in the universe. Okay, if we see in our atmosphere, I have already told you that many gases are present in the atmosphere. So the highest percentage of the gas present in the atmosphere, that is nitrogen. Then oxygen, which is very important for us, it is present in 21% on our earth's surface, and only 1% of other gases are present on the atmosphere. Okay, so 78% of the nitrogen is present, so it is the highest percentage of gas found on our earth. So we might also have a question that which is the highest percentage of gas found on the earth's atmosphere. Okay, so that is nitrogen. And as you all know, oxygen is very important for us, for our life to have to survive on the earth's surface. Then we have carbon dioxide, and though it is present in very small amount, but it is very important for our planet to stay warm and for our plants to grow. Okay, and the density of atmosphere varies with height, because like if you will be in the sea level or in near the sea places, so the gases present on the sea level is quite present, or as we go above the sea level, like in the mountains, so suddenly the amount of gases starts decreasing. So because of which you might have also noticed that the mountaineers who go in the mountains, they carry oxygen cylinder, because they start feeling oxygen problems out there. So because of which they feel many of the problems, and because of the decrease of the gas. Then we have biosphere. So first of all, we'll understand what do you mean by biosphere. So bio means life. Okay, sphere means a place where all the life exists. So there is a thin line between all this land, water and air, where a zone of life exists. Okay, so that zone where life exists, all the microorganisms, all the bacteria, all the mammals, or us human beings, so the zone in which all of us exist, that is known as, that place or zone is known as biosphere. Okay, simply. Then moving further, we'll study about global warming. So global warming is a very burning issue nowadays. What do we understand by global warming? Global means globe. Okay, means earth, and warming means it is getting hotter. Okay, so it means our globe, our earth is warming or heating. Okay, so why it is happening? It is happening because we are using a lot of carbon dioxide emission things, like our vehicles, our industry emit a lot of carbon dioxide, in which if the percentage of carbon dioxide is minimum like 0.03%, so the amount of carbon dioxide gets increasing. Okay, so if it increases, so the percentage increases, so there is an instability on the earth, so earth also starts warming. So because of it, if earth is warming, so our glaciers, which is snow covered, so it starts melting because of the warming of the earth, because of which water content will increase. So if water content will increase, so it might come up as a flood as well. So there are many other things. If it disturbs all these things, so there will be a instability on the earth surface, because of which it is very essential for us to protect our earth from global warming, and by using less of vehicles, by emitting less of carbon dioxide from industries and other sources. There is thus a need to limit the use of resources of the earth to maintain the balance of nature, because the domains of the lithosphere, the atmosphere and the hydrosphere should be maintained in its way it is. Okay, so thanks for watching. I hope you like it, and if you like it, do share, like and comment, and do please subscribe as well. It is very important. It will help me out to make great videos further. Okay, so thank you so much.